Hello, my dear champs. Today's topic is borrow and return. अभी तक हमारे पास जब बीट्स होती थी हम कोई ना कोई फॉर्मूला लगाकर प्लस माइनस सब कुछ कर ही रहे हैं, मल्टीप्लिकेशन कर ही रहे हैं. बट देर आर situations where you don't have beads and you don't have a number to subtract with. Suppose you have 35 and you want to do minus 69 and you do not have beads at that moment. Yes, that time we have to use borrow and return. Yeah. So let us look to it how we will solve a borrow and return sum where we have to borrow something from on one rod and then we have to return back. Okay. So first of all, whenever we are doing a borrow and return, we have to make sure that whenever we are doing this sum, we will use this last rod as a reminder or a pointer to show that we have borrowed something. Okay, let us understand with an example. Yeah? Suppose my sum is 8 minus 9. Now I can't do minus 9 from 8. So what to do here? That time I will borrow, and before borrowing what I will do is I will put one pointer also and I will take borrow here as 10. Yeah. And now I can solve it. If I want to do minus 9 now, how I will do minus 9? Minus 10 plus 1. Now 4 minus 6 plus 10 minus 5 minus 10 plus 5 and 7 minus 3 plus 10. That is, and when I say that is and the sum is over, we have borrowed something. This pointer is showing that we have borrowed something. So we have to return this whatever we have borrowed and then we have to say the answer, and my answer is 5. Let's look into one more sum to understand it. Suppose I have 8 minus 3 minus 4 plus 1 minus 5 minus 5, and now you do not have beads for minus 5. At that time we have to borrow. So you have borrowed here and you have put one pointer here that you have borrowed it to remember that. Yes, and then you do minus 5 minus 10 plus 5 and 7. So plus 2 minus 5 plus 10. That is, and whenever I say that is, we have to return that we have borrowed. Yes, so let's return it and the answer is 3. I hope it is clear now. We will take some 2-digit sums also to understand that how we do 2 digits borrow and return. So whenever I have to borrow, I always have to borrow on the next rod. Means if I am doing sum on the unit rod, I will borrow on the tens rod. If I have a 2-digit sum, I will borrow on the hundreds rod. Yeah, like let's take one sum, 69 minus 82. Now I do not have beads to do minus 82, so I will put a pointer here to borrow and I will borrow on the hundreds rod. Yeah, now I can do minus 82. Yes, so minus 100 plus 20 and minus 2, and then minus 54. So minus 50 minus 4 and 95. So minus 10 plus 100 and 5. Yes, that is, again when I say that is, this pointer will remind you that you have borrowed something. Let's return back what you have borrowed, and then the answer is 2828. Yeah, let's take one more example of 2-digit. Yeah, 56 minus 22. So minus 20 and minus 2 and minus 36. Do I have beads here? No. So I will have to borrow. And now I can do minus 36. Yes, minus 30 and then minus 6. So minus 100 plus 90 plus 5 minus 1 and 13. So minus 9 plus 10 and minus 7 plus 10. Yes, that is, so again this pointer will make me remind that I have borrowed something, so I have to return that, and now my answer is 1111. Same way, when you do a 3-digit sum for borrow and return, you will borrow on the thousands rod. Yeah? Let's take one example of 3-digit borrow and return. Say 569 minus 653. So 569, you can't subtract minus 653, yes? You can subtract 653 from 569. So you will take, you'll borrow on the thousands rod, yeah? And now you can do minus 653. So minus 10 plus 4 minus 5 minus 3, yeah? And now 154. So 1, 5 and 4. Yeah, that is, now when I say that is, again this pointer will remind me of that I have borrowed something. Let's return back what I have borrowed on the thousandth rod. And now my answer becomes 7070. Yeah, I hope this will help you to understand how to perform borrow and return sums. If you need more help, you can call me anytime and we can discuss it more. Thank you. Keep practicing.